بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. We're talking about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam after the hijrah to Palestine. The law of Jannah is that you just wish for it and it's there. You don't have to press no button, you don't have to make no call, you don't have to say anything, you don't have to do anything. There were two miracles about that stone that Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was standing on. One was this, that it will go up and down. The other thing that happened miraculously was, generally when you have a rock, it does not get any foot. What is the difference? The difference of? Ad. That's it. هذا بلد آمنة هذا البلد آمنة. That's the only difference, which normally we won't even notice the difference. Not only when we read the translation, even generally when people read the tafsir, they don't notice the difference. Okay, وإذ قال Ibrahim A S is making dua رب اجعل هذا بلدا آمنا. He's making dua رب اجعل هذا البلد آمنا. These are totally two different du'as of two different timings. The reason it's important to note this because it's telling us Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, once he was making this dua at the time of the construction of the Kaaba. So he's making the dua, رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا. Ya Allah, make this a city of peace. Okay. So he's making dua for that city to be the city of peace and his family to survive over there with peace and provide them, Ya Allah, with all kind of sustenance, food coming from all over the world. He's making dua for establishing a town and for his family that will be established in the town. Later on, after the Kaaba is built, now he's making the dua, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا. Ya Allah, now this is a town. هذا البلد. See, al-balad means there is a town. Ma'rifah, which means it's a proper noun. This is a proper town now. So now he's making dua for this town. Before he was making dua to make it a town. Now he's making dua for the town. This is the difference between the two. And Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam made the first dua with Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam during the construction. Later on, Ibrahim alayhi salam is making dua on his own. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, as we see from this, he's repeatedly coming. He came earlier when he was asked to sacrifice his son Ismail alayhi salam. Maybe he came before that we know Qur'an doesn't make mention of it. And then we see Qur'an is mentioning at least 3 times Ibrahim alayhi salam coming back. The reason it's important, once again, some of the historians raise this question that Ibrahim alayhi salam, he went there and he, wal-iyazu billah, neglected that family. He didn't visit them until it was time to construct the Kaaba. Because according to them, Ishaq alayhi salam is the one who was being sacrificed, or who was supposed to be slaughtered. So therefore, there is no evidence Ibrahim alayhi salam had any connection with Ismail alayhi salam. But here we see so much connection here. And it's not that he's just neglecting them. He's visiting them frequently. And they built the Kaaba together. Later on, when it's built, he came back again and he's making dua for the town. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informs us of another occasion when Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam came, and that is when Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam was already married. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, when he arrived Makkah Mukarramah, his son Ismail alayhi salam wasn't there. So he knew the house. He went to the house of his son Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. Now he's married, so his wife is there. So he went, this is the first time he came after Ismail alayhi salam got married. So his daughter-in-law doesn't know him. She doesn't know Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. He went and knocked at the door. She answered the door. So he asked her where her husband was. She said he went out hunting to get some food. That was the way of survival. So he asked her, by the way, how is your living? How are you people doing? And she said, we're living with a lot of difficulty. We don't have anything here. I don't like this place here. And she went on with some complaints. So he said, when your husband come back, just describe me to him and tell him that a man of this description came and he said, change the frame of your door. He said, okay. Ismail alayhi salam came back, and Ibrahim alayhi salam went back. That's it. He didn't stay there. He went back. When Ismail alayhi salam came back and she told him the whole story, she said, a man of this description came. Oh, that's my dad. Is it? You know, your dad is such a nice man. He said, you know, we should get a new door. He said to change the frame of your door. He said, okay. He said, do you know what is the frame of my door? That's you. So he's asking me to change you. So you need to go home. And Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam divorced this wife and he got married to another woman later on. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam came back after some time. Same thing, Ismail alayhi salam is not home. He knocked at the door and she answered the door. He asked about her husband, same situation, is out, and he was out for the same thing. He went out hunting. How is your livelihood? How are you surviving? How are you people doing? And she, alhamdulillah, I have the best husband. And she thanked Allah and all. He said, okay. When he comes back, describe me to him and tell him just to keep the frame of the door. Now, she doesn't know the first part of what happened earlier. He came back, she told him the whole thing, and she told him this part also, that old man came, he gave this message that keep the frame of your door. And he told her, you are the frame of my door. And my father is asking me to keep you. What is it that we are seeing here? It's not just Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he's narrating this, is telling us something very, very special. It's not about just a father telling his son to divorce his wife, and then he's telling him, okay, I like the other one better, so you keep this one. It's not that. A lot of lessons there. A lot of lessons. But in this short time, very briefly, what is it that is going on here? Remember, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam's concern was what? He's continuously making dua for his progeny. وَجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامَ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, إِنِّي جَعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا, right away he said, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي, Ya Allah, and free people from my offspring also, from my generations also. So that was his concern for his children and his progeny to remain on the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to always be the leaders in leading people towards the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not just normal people who are just doing few things and praying and I'm Muslim and I'm doing enough. No, he wants them to be imam, to be the leaders in future that would lead people towards the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted this dua, and now Anbiya will be from his progeny. And as we will see later inshallah, that he had with his two sons, Ismail and Ishaq alayhi salatu wassalam. Ishaq alayhi salatu wassalam's son is Yaqub alayhi salam. Yaqub alayhi salam's son is Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. And who's Yaqub alayhi salam is Israel. So whole Bani Israel now, and all the Anbiya of Bani Israel are from the progeny of Ishaq alayhi salatu wassalam. So this is all Bani Israel and all the Anbiya of Bani Israel. Over 100,000 people, Anbiya, from that nation, from the children of Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. And from the other side, we have Sayyidul Anbiya, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the progeny of Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. In order to have that type of progeny, to have the type of progeny that will be imama, that will be leaders, that will be anbiya, and if not at the level of anbiya, then at least to be at the level of sulaha and the pious people. The most important part of the family structure is the mother. From Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam's progeny, you're going to have Sayyidul Anbiya wal Mursaleen. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam's one of the highest qualities is very grateful servant of Allah. Shakur. And hamd is a special quality of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allah gave him hamd everywhere. Studying the Qur'an, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. His name, the only name out of all the Anbiya and prophets and messengers, Muhammad, that is driven from hamd. In the hereafter, his name is Ahmad. وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِن بَعْدِ اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدٍ. On the day of Qiyamah, he will be carrying the liwa'ul hamd, the flag of the hamd, of thanking Allah. There is a lot of connection of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with hamd, thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gratefulness. This woman that was the wife of Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam, she has a lot of complaint about her husband. Ibrahim alayhi salam realized she cannot raise a nation of hamd. She is not a woman who can raise the nation that will be grateful nation, that will be the nation of hamd and thanking Allah. Therefore, he needs a wife that can raise that nation of hamd, from whose progeny will be that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is telling us the importance of mothers in every person's life. And at the same time, it's telling us when a person is getting married, you are not just looking for a wife for yourself, you are looking for the mother of your children. You are looking for a mother who would have an effect on your progeny for years and years to go and to come. SubhanAllah, look at the time difference between Ismail alayhi salam and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Yet at that level, Ibrahim alayhi salam didn't accept that type of attitude of, no, we are having difficulties and my husband is busy and no. That is not going to work in the house of this Prophet of Allah, Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. So it's a very, very deep and an important lesson of being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is only one quality, which generally means especially raising our daughters in a way that they can really raise a generation. You know, a lot of time when people look at the state of women in Islam and they have complained, you know, Islam is keeping women at home and, you know, men are out, they should have freedom and all. It's just like they're giving women the feeling that you have been kept down. That Islam is keeping you down. And Islam is not giving you the position that you deserve. So what is the position that you deserve? You deserve to be outside and expose your body as much as possible. It's a fact. If you see two people walking from far, that you can't really see both of them. But now as you're getting closer, you see that there are two people. One of them, it seems like, has a full dress, and the other person, mostly naked. Who will be the man and who will be the woman? The one who's properly dressed and the body is covered is man. The other one is woman. On the name of freedom, Islam said, stay home. And I will tell you why. But I'm just setting some example here. She's preparing home food for her family. For who? For her loved ones. for the ones who care about her, for those who she even cares about. Okay, she's going to prepare some food for her husband. She's going to prepare some food for her children. And after they're done, out of her love, she picks everything up, she cleans everything behind it. You know, you were working so hard outside, you were studying, you were doing all of that. Okay, I'll do this for you. Out of her own willingness, her love for her family, she does it. We say she's backward. Why does she have to do this? So what you should do, now this woman goes out and she takes some courses, and mashallah, well educated, and now she becomes air hostess. And now, in every plane, 400-500 people, serve all of them with a big smile on your face. If you don't keep that smile, you are fired. Yes, it's a rule. You have to know how to deal with customers. And after they're done, clean all of that. Pick up everything. Anyone presses the button anytime, rush to answer that call and see what does that person want. And a person, you go and answer the call and the person says, I'm throwing up. Okay, bring the towel, paper and everything. Clean whatever he's doing. This is your freedom. Now you are a great woman. See? You can clean other people's vomit. Children are making mess in the plane. You with a smile on your face, you clean it. Do it for 400 or 500 people in every plane. Maybe go back home after 2 weeks. Go from one plane to another plane, from one place to another place, and let your children be with someone else who would take care of your children. All of you are very great. See, this is freedom now. On the name of freedom, this is what she's doing. What Islam did was, when we are out, what is it that we are doing? As men, just think about it. We work in factories, in companies. We may become on the highest profession and obtain the highest positions in the world from the worldly point of view. What is it that you are doing? You are producing, you are helping. Who is it that you are helping? You can never do better than what a mother is doing in the house, and that is she is raising the next generation. We are entrusted with so many other things, but she is entrusted with human beings and the future of human beings. Can there be anything more important than that in our life? If we know the value of human beings, then who is entrusted with human beings? It's the mother who's going to raise that generation. Next generation, it all depends on that mother, on these women. The way they will raise their children, this is what the next generation is going to be. This is why when someone asked, a scholar, why don't we have people like Imam Shafi'i, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Ghazali, and Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, so many great people. Why don't we have people like them? He said, it's simple. It's not about having them. It's simple. It's easy to have them. First thing, have mothers like their mothers. You will have children like them also. It's just having those mothers. And it's a fact. I don't want to go into the depth of it. I will just finish it with this reminder that if you study the biographies of these great scholars of Islam, you will be surprised to see many of them, not few, many of them were orphans. Their mothers raised them. Their mothers raised them. Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, Imam Malik, and Imam Nawawi rahimahullah. You name it, so many others, Imam Ghazali rahimahullah. They were all orphans. Their mothers raised them and presented that to the ummah. We know Imam Bukhari's story. Mother. So, really, those mothers are the ones who gave these great gifts to the ummah in the form of Imam Bukhari, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Nawawi, and so on, so many scholars. So, this is what Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was looking at when he is telling his son who to keep and who not to keep. Anyway, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam went back to Palestine. As we know, Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, according to the history, Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam passed away in Makkah Mukarramah. And this is again according to the history. Ismail alayhi salam and his mother are buried in the Hijr, which means in the part of the Hatim. You know, around the Kaaba there is a small wall. So that area, in that area, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam and his mother Hajar radiallahu anha are both buried over there. And Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam is buried in Palestine. We know there is a well-known area over there known as Al-Khalil, where the qabr of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Ishaq alayhi salatu wasalam, Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, and Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Alhamdulillah, I visited that place. All of these qubur are over there. Inshallah, then we will talk about Ishaq alayhi salatu wasalam and his progeny. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqi Sayyidina wa Habibina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillah.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما